Good day, good day. This is Danielle from Black Healing Matters coming to you once again with another great idea to help you get one step closer to your healing. And today I want to talk about this concept that many of us struggle with, particularly in our community, of perfection. As one of my friends put it, she said, perfection paralysis, right? Or paralysis of perfection. This runs so deep within our community. And I want to talk about just a few major examples, simply to shine the light on them. And as you're listening to this, I invite you to just be honest with yourself. Be real honest and take a real look at your own actions and your own thoughts and see, does this resonate with you? It may or may not, and that's okay. But if it does, I want to just shine some light on it, and then we can later on go in and examine that and see, what this is about. And so, like I said, the concept is about perfection. I've noticed, and this, I'm speaking about myself right now, so I'm putting myself out there. I've noticed in myself, and I've also talked to other friends, Black friends, about this, and we've come to a consensus that when we shop with Black businesses, our expectations are much higher than when we shop at businesses not owned by Black people. Let me give you an example. How many of us have been into a Korean-owned, usually they're Korean-owned, a Korean-owned hair shop where you are subject to being watched like a hawk? You may be followed. The person behind the counter may or may not even speak English to you. I've been rushed to buy products, like, hurry up and buy, get out of the store. And just overall not treated well. Had that experience several times, which means I've been back several times, right? And yeah, they do have good products, but still, I'm like, the concept the thought that if I went into a Black-owned beauty supply store and was treated that way, I would have a fit. And again, me and my friends, we talked about this. It was a consensus that I would never allow a Black-owned business, a Black business owner, to treat me in that way, to speak to me in that way. I would expect so much more from them. And so I'm just asking the question, just shedding some light on this and asking you why you think that is. Why is it that perfection is the standard when we deal with each other? Second example is, for as many of us who are sitting on great ideas, and I've talked about the whole judgment piece before, but some of us are sitting on great ideas, great business ideas, great artistic ideas, things that, we feel like we've been put on this earth to really bring life to. And that we know we're the only one really who could bring it like we can. But we're sitting on them. We're waiting. We're holding them. We're trying. We may even be working on them, maybe secretly. But we won't dare show it to anyone because it's not perfect. Because we don't know exactly all the steps from A to Z how to get it done. Because it's not 100% professional quality, top-notch, top grade. And we just kind of sit on it and do nothing or perform very well below our capability, instead of just jumping out there and, as my friend says, launch ugly. Just put it out there, launch ugly, which is what everyone does. And I'm saying non-black people and black people alike. People who succeed, that's what they do. They launch ugly. They don't wait until it's perfect. Most of them don't. Because it never is perfect, right? That's why there's an iPhone 10 coming out, right? iPhone X. Because the first one wasn't perfect, right? And perfection evolves over time. And so I see this so often in our community, and it really hurts my heart, because I know we're capable of so much. And so many of us have greatness just sitting just right under the surface that we will not release, simply because it's not perfect. And the last concept or idea relating to this idea of perfection that we find in our community is our insistence on looking good. Looking good is part of who we are, and I'm not against anyone looking their best. Not at all. Not in the slightest. I think if you whatever makes you, adorns who you are and helps you present yourself in the best light, in the way that you want to be seen in this world, by all means, go for it. But I think we can agree, by the multi-billion-dollar hair industry and all the television shows and the programming that is targeted directly at Black people, because we are big spenders, that lookism, I'm going to call it lookism, the emphasis on our looks is extremely important in the Black community. And unfortunately, it's to the point for many of us where how we look is more important to us than how we are. Meaning our condition, our wellness, our being, even our physical, mental, spiritual health and wellness may come second to how we look. So we might have it all together on the outside, which many of us do, have your hair done and the newest, flyest everything, shoes, clothes, cars, everything. But on the inside of that, what's going on? On the inside of that, are we even able to finance all of this and afford all of this? On the inside of that, how are we feeling about ourselves? On the inside of that, who in the hell are we trying to impress? And I believe this does come from our long history of having little, having less, and feeling in some way that we must earn our seat at the table, as though our being is not good enough. And so again, there's that idea of perfection rearing its head again. And I believe that's really the underlying root of all three of these examples I've given you today, is a feeling of unworthiness, a feeling that of maybe we'll be like an imposter, or somehow that we need the permission of someone else to step up and really do what we've been put here to do, regardless of how it looks right now. And so if you're waiting for permission, or if you feel like, it's not perfect, I can't do that, I can't do what I want to do because it's not perfect, because I don't know everything, I want you to take a step back and a deep breath and release some of that tension and stress. because this is real. This is a really stressful burden to carry, and I believe it is part of our profile of racism that comes along with our experience in America. But I invite you to lay that cross down, okay, of perfection, because no one is perfect, and the world truly is waiting for, and it deserves to see you, to see what you have to offer, just like no one else can, because only you can bring it the way you can. And so if you're caught up in this concept of I gotta be perfect, just know that you don't. And if you need permission to let it all hang out, then here I am, and I'm giving you that permission. Okay, I am giving you permission to let it all hang out. Do you unapologetically. And as always, Black healing matters.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.